Agencies are moving fast towards a world where one person with deep niche expertise and a good AI stack beats a 20% generalist agency every time. But before I go any further, let me be straight with you about who this video is for. If you are just starting out and trying to figure out some basics, this is not a video, alright. Here's what we are covering today. First, the full timeline of where the agency world is heading and what it means for agencies already operating at a high level. Second, why Anthropic latest release, Claude Mythos model changes everything about how lean agencies can now outperform big shops. Third, the exact system upmarket agencies are using right now to get 6 to 7 qualified high-value client intro calls every single month without chasing anyone. If you stay until the end, you are going to live with a completely different picture of what's possible for your agency in the next 12 months. This video is for agency owners who are already winning, but no, they should be winning bigger. You have got clients, you have got a team, you have got real revenue, but something feels like a ceiling. You are growing but not scaling. You are adding clients, but adding headaches at the same rate. You are doing more, but it doesn't feel exponential. That's the gap I want to talk about today. Because here is what I have come to understand, and this might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. You cannot get to scale by solving for growth. They are completely different games, and most agencies are playing the wrong one. I'm going to show you why agencies that are stuck thinking about growth are about to get wiped out. And I'm going to show you exactly how upmarket agencies are using AI to get 6 to 7 qualified high-value client intro calls every single month. Without chasing, without cold calling, without grinding. If that's the level you are playing it, let's go. Here's the core problem most successful agency owners have right now. And they don't even realize it. They are solving for growth when they should be solving for scale. Growth says, we did 800K last year, let's go for $1 million this year. Same clients, same team, same model, just a little more. That's 20% growth. That's respectable. That's also the slowest, hardest path forward, and almost nobody talks about that. Scale says, what does the 5 million version of this agency look like? And here's what is wild. When we actually ask that question seriously, the path to 5 million is simpler than the path to $1 million. Not easier in terms of comfort, but simpler, cleaner, fewer things, more specific, more leverage. Here's why. When you are solving for growth, you keep everything. Same services, same client types, same team structure, same positioning. You just try to do more of it. And so you stay stuck competing with hundreds of other agencies doing the exact same thing. Fighting over the same clients, the same price points, the same commoditized space. When you are solving for scale, the goal forces you to raise the floor. And raising the floor means most of what you are currently saying yes to, you can't say yes to anymore. That's not the loss, that's the entire point. The agencies that are about to win in this next era are the ones willing to raise their floor and hold it. The ones who stop serving anyone who will pay and start only serving the clients they can produce extraordinary results for. That's where the power is, and that's what the next few years are going to make brutally obvious. Let me show you exactly what's coming and what it means for agencies that are already playing at a high level. Right now, as for today, March of 2026, the pressure on generalist agencies is already real. Brands are questioning what they are paying for. Why are we paying this agency $15,000 a month when AI can do half of what their team does? And here's what just made this dramatically worse for a generalist and dramatically better for a specialist. Anthropic just released Claude Mythos. And this is not a smart chatbot. This is the most capable AI model ever built. And here's why it matters specifically for agencies. Claude Mythos can now autonomously research a brand, audit their entire ad account, build a full campaign strategy, write every piece of copy, analyze performance data, and deliver a complete report without a human touching it at every step. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't make excuses. It doesn't need managing. That is not a tool anymore. That is a department. Every generalist agency that has been charging clients thousands of months for a team to do exactly that work just had their entire business model made redundant overnight. Why would any serious brand pay a 20% agency for work that one expert with a Claude Mythos powered stack can now do faster, smarter, and at a fraction of the cost? For low-end agencies, this is existential. For higher-level agencies who have spent years building deep vertical expertise, this is the biggest competitive weapon they have ever been handed. Because you can now point Claude Mythos at a specific niche, trained on a specific data, and get execution quality that a team of 10 couldn't produce 6 months ago. The output isn't generic AI work, it's your expertise running at scale overnight. The agencies that understand this before their clients do are going to own this market entirely. 2026 to 2027, the generalist collapse. The we run ads for any brand in any industry agency is functionally dead by this point. Think about what that means on a power law level. 99% of agencies are generalists. When that model collapsed, the 1% agencies that went deep on a specific vertical, that build proprietary systems around one type of brand, those agencies don't just survive, they absorb the market. The clients that used to be spread across 50 mediocre agencies are now looking for the 5 exceptional ones. And if you have built vertical specific expertise and proprietary systems, you are now in the rarest, most valuable position in the market. There is no competition for what you do. 2028 to 2030. Proprietary data becomes the weapon. The agencies that went deep on a niche in 2025 now have 3 to 4 years of campaign data trained into their AI systems. This is where it becomes unfair for everyone else. Your AI knows the CPLs for your specific type of client. It knows the creative angles that convert. It knows the seasonal patterns, the audience psychology, the exact triggers that move your specific customer. A new competitor can buy the same tools. They cannot buy your data, they cannot buy your reps. This is what 10x leverage looks like. Not doing more work, doing the same work with compounding systems that gets smarter every single month. The agencies without this, they are competing on price. And you cannot win a price war against AI. 2030 and beyond, the lean agency era. The dominant model by this point is a lean agency. 1 or 2 senior people backed by a full AI powered stack, serving multiple high value brand clients at once. Better results than big shops, faster, more accountable, direct senior access, a fraction of the cost. This is not a future scenario. The smart agency owners are building this right now. By the way, if you are running an agency and you want a consistent flow of high quality client intros, the kind of brands worth actually working with, I specifically work with agencies like yours to build that pipeline. 5 to 7 qualified intro calls every month. Click the link in the description if you want to start adding that consistent revenue. Okay, let's keep going. Here's the single most important strategic decision you can make as an agency owner right now. Raise your floor and hold it. What does that mean? It means deciding with real commitment the minimum quality of client you will work with from this point forward, and then saying no to everything below that line, even when it's a client you have worked with for years who just can't grow with you. Here's what happens when you do that. Immediately you will be tested. Opportunities that are just below your new floor will show up and they will be compelling. They will be easy money. They will feel almost right. The test isn't whether those opportunities exist. The test is whether you hold the line. But here's what the data says, and this is something the best scaling minds in the world all agree on. Once you get your first win above your new floor, your psychology changes permanently. Your confidence is now calibrated to that level. You start attracting more of it. You start building systems around it. And the clients you were saying yes to before, you can't even imagine going back. The agency owners who are stuck, not growing, not scaling, just grinding, almost always have the same problem. They are saying yes to everything. They have no floor. And so their time, their team, their systems are all optimized for the average client instead of the exceptional one. You cannot scale an agency that's built for average clients. The model doesn't allow it. Pick your vertical, set your floor, hold it. Not lawyers and e-commerce and home services, not fashion brands and SaaS and B2B. 1. Pick the type of brand where you can produce extraordinary results and where extraordinary results command extraordinary fees. Go all in. Because there is the truth about power laws in this business. When you go deep enough on one specific type of brand, you stop competing. You become the only logical choice. And the only logical choice doesn't negotiate on price. Let me paint you a picture of what this looks like when it's built right. A brand has 2 options in front of them. Option A, a 40% agency, big team, big pitch deck, account manager they will never really connect with, junior media buyers doing the actual work, senior strategists available for 30 minutes a month. Option 2, you, senior expertise, direct accountability, an AI-powered system that has been running campaigns specifically for brands like theirs for years. Results that their current agency can't match because their current agency doesn't have your data, your vertical knowledge, or your systems. That is not a close decision for a serious brand, not even slightly. But, and this matters, this only works if you are positioned correctly. If your brand, your content, your reputation all signal and the authority in this specific space, that's why it's obvious. If you look like every other agency with a generic website and a generalist offer, you are invisible to the clients you actually want. This is what the best agency owners are building right now. Not bigger teams, a bigger signal. And that signal, that reputation as the go-to expert for one specific type of brand is exactly what generates consistent high quality inbound, month after month, without changing. Okay, here is how you actually build this step by step for agencies operating at a real level. Step 1. Define the scaled version of your agency first. Before you toss tactics, ask the scaling question. Not how do I get 2 more clients this month. Ask what does the 5 million version of my agency look like? Who are the 20 to 30 clients that make that possible? What do they look like? What do they pay? What results do we produce for them? Start from that future, work backwards. Because here is what happens when you do that. Everything below that floor becomes obvious. The clients you are currently working with, who drain your team and pay below market, gone. The service offerings that spread you too thin, gone. The positioning that attracts the wrong type of brand, completely rewritten. The scale goal doesn't just tell you what to aim for, it tells you what to eliminate. And elimination is the most powerful lever in any business. Step 2. Build positioning that filters automatically. Your positioning should do 2 things at once. Attract the right brands and repel the wrong ones. Not rerun performance ads for growing brands. That attracts everyone and signals nothing. Something like, we run paid acquisition exclusively for premium e-commerce brand doing 2 million to 20 million. We need to scale past their current plateau. That sentence tells the right brand. This is exactly for me. and tells every other brand, this probably isn't for me. That filtering happens before a single conversation, and that's what makes your pipeline efficient. You are not wasting discovery calls on brands you will never work with. Every conversation you have is already pre-qualified. Use AI to sharpen this. Ask it to articulate the specific language your ideal brand uses when they describe their own frustration with their current agency. Mirror that language back. When a brand reads your positioning and thinks, how do they know exactly what I am dealing with? You have got them. Step 3. Build a content engine that signals authority. This is how the serious inbound happens, and it compounds in a way that paid acquisition never does. One piece of content per week. Not generic marketing advice. Specific, sophisticated insight for your specific type of brand. The kind of content that makes a CMO or founder say, this person understands our world at a level our current agency never does. Break down why a specific campaign structure is underperforming in their space right now. Share what your data shows about creative fatigue cycles in their vertical. Give them an insight that their $50,000 a month agency isn't giving them. Use AI to build the production system around this. That one weekly piece becomes LinkedIn content, short clips, email, distributed across the places your ideal brands actually pay attention. The whole production process takes under an hour when the workflow is built right. Do this consistently for 60 to 90 days. The decision makers at the brands you want start seeing your name. They start thinking, we should talk to this person. That's inbound at the level you actually wanted. Not volume, quality. The right people coming to you already sold on your expertise. Step 4. Targeted outreach aimed at the right level. Content works slow. Outreach accelerates it. You need both. Every week, use AI to research and identify 30 to 50 brands that match your exact profile. Not 300. Not spray and pray. 30 to 50 serious targets that actually fit. Then research each one before you reach out. What's their current ad spend looking like? Where are they clearly leaving money on the table? What is the specific problem a brand at their stage almost always has that you know how to solve? Then send something that proves you paid attention. Not a template. Something like, hey James, been watching your meta strategy for the past few weeks. You are running the same 3 creative concepts since Q4. Your spend level in this vertical, that's likely costing you 20 to 30% of your ROAS right now. Happy to walk you through what we are seeing work for brands at your stage. No pitch, just a conversation. That takes 90 seconds to personalize with the right AI research workflow. And it lands completely differently than anything else hitting their inbox because it's specific, it's credible, and it's immediately useful. Step 5. Follow up like a senior agency should. Most high-level brands don't respond on the first touch. Not because they are not interested, because they are busy and cautious. They need to see that you are consistent, that you are not desperate, and that you have something real. Build a 3 to 4 massive follow-up sequence. Each touch adds value. A relevant case study, a creative insight specific to their space, a recent result from a brand similar to theirs. Not just checking in, never just checking in. This sequence runs in the background, consistently, while you are doing everything else. It will resurrect conversations you thought were dead. And at the level of brand you are targeting, just one reopened conversation is worth $50,000 a year in retainer. This exact system, the positioning, the content framework, the outreach workflow, is what I use to help marketing agencies get 5 to 7 serious, qualified client intros every single month. These aren't brokies kicking tires. These are real brands with real budgets, looking for an agency that actually knows what it's doing. If you want to start adding that kind of consistent revenue to your business, link is in the description. Let me bring this all together. The agency market is splitting fast. On one side, generalist agencies, high headcount, average clients, grinding to grow 20% a year and calling it success. Those agencies are about to face the hardest few years they have never seen. On the other side, lean, specialized, AI-powered agencies with a clear floor, a defined vertical, and a system that attracts the right brands at the right price. Those agencies are not competing anymore. They have escaped competition entirely, and they are operating on a power law level where a single right client, a single right strategic partnership can change the trajectory of the entire business. The brands worth working with can tell the difference. They can see in 30 seconds whether an agency is truly exceptional at what they do or whether they are just another generalist with a good-looking pitch deck. You don't get to that level by growing incrementally. You get there by deciding clearly, committed, unapologetically what kind of agency you are building. Setting the floor, holding it, and building systems that bring the right brands to you before they are even talking to anyone else. That is the game worth playing. And lastly, if you are running a marketing agency and you are ready to stop chasing and start closing the kind of clients your agency actually deserves, this is for you. I work specifically with marketing agencies to build a system that generates 5 to 7 qualified, high-value client intro calls every single month. Not tire kickers, not brokies. Serious brands with serious budgets who are already looking for what you offer. They just need to find you first. I built the positioning framework, the AI-powered outreach system, and the content engine that makes that happen consistently. And I work with agencies to implement it for their specific vertical and market. If you want to start adding consistent, predictable revenue to your agency, click the link in the description right now. Get the details, and let's build the pipeline your agency should already have. The link is right below this video. And if you are still thinking about it, subscribe and keep watching. I put out content every week for agency owners and marketers operating at a real level. It's free and it will change how you think about building this business. I'll see you in the next one.